In this episode of The Rise of Black Wealth, I will be interviewing Eddie Raymond, most widely known in the real estate investment arena as Mr. Transaction Engineer. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, Eddie has risen from a life of hard lessons on the streets to becoming a professional real estate mogul and strategist over the past 14 years, and he's helping to change the lives of ordinary people around the country. Mr. Raymond's coaching techniques have helped real estate investors flourish during economic conditions both weak and strong. Hello, this is Tamara Reeves, and welcome to episode number 9 of The Rise of Black Wealth, where our goal is to recognize, inspire, showcase, and empower leaders in our community in their respective fields, business owners, entrepreneurs. We're just so excited. This is actually the first episode of 2020, and I have an amazing guest with me. I'm so honored to have Mr. Eddie Raymond, real estate transaction engineer. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing so great. Doing so good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on here on your show.
Thank you for being here. I am so honored, like I said, because you guys, Eddie is one of my real estate investment coaches, and he has really helped turn my life around in so many ways. We're going to get into some of that, but I'm telling you, he's got an amazing story, how he rose from being a high-low driver to this real estate hero is what I call him. But we'll get off into that. It's such an amazing story of victory in his life and his family's life. And we're just going to start right out. Eddie, tell us who Eddie Raymond is. Where are you from? How did your life begin?
Well, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. Still here. It's popping so hard now, I don't think I could leave. I thought I was going to leave one day, but not no time soon. So I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, raised by a single mom. So my mom, she always had a passion for real estate. So she actually the one who got me into real estate. So my mom actually got me into real estate. And, growing up, I used to do, like, in the summertime, I used to do construction with my dad because he's a general contractor. So we went to Home Depot every day during the summer, and I used to hate Home Depot. I hated it. But now, I didn't see how God was preparing me, because now, I've been doing real estate. This year make 15 years. And so when I hire somebody, I know if they know what they're doing or not. So that was very beneficial. And then when I first started, it helped me because, like, some of the properties that we take over and stuff, like little small stuff, I could go in there and do it, like paint a wall, do a little electrical, a little plumbing, like something small. I could take care of it, and I don't have to call a handyman every time to come fix everything. So that was a blessing.
That is so good. So did you go to college? Did you go to a university anywhere?
No, I didn't go to college. I graduated from high school. Then I got in some trouble, and I actually ended up having to do some time. So I had to do 41 months for drug trafficking. I was trafficking cocaine, got into hanging out with the wrong people, and got into the wrong environment. Well, I'll say I grew up in East Atlanta, so at the time, East Atlanta wasn't how it is now. Now it's nice, it's diversified. But when I grew up, it was kind of rough. So, I started hanging out with the wrong people, the wrong crowd, and you know what that leads up to.
For sure.
So when I went down for that time, I would just start reading like crazy. I was reading everything I could get my hands on. Then my mom, I had her start sending me stuff on real estate. So I was studying real estate because I'm like, this is no place for me. I'm definitely not coming back here. I will not be in here again. So I came home, So I started driving the forklift. I was driving forklift for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom paid for my first seminar. So she paid $5,000 for my first seminar. And I had a tough decision to make because I was driving forklift for a temp service, and the seminar was 5 days. So I needed to take off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, I was already off. But I asked my boss, can I take those 3 days off? And she was like, no, you can't take that time off. If you take that time off, you're going to be fired. And it was a tough decision because I had 3 kids. So I'm like, man, what am I going to do? But, I just followed my intuition, and, I had to roll the dice, and I rolled 7.
I know that's right.
So I was so fired up and so tired of that, that forklift job, man. It was hectic. $12 an hour with 3 kids, man. That don't go far.
No.
So I was so fired up that when I got to the seminar, I already had leads. I probably had like 20 or 30 leads. I read the book, followed the course, and market like how the manual said market. So I already had 20 leads, and God was so much in my favor when I went there. The instructor called me on stage and called one of my deals, and then that was my first deal. It was a subject to. So my instructor my mentor, he actually closed the deal right there on stage while I was up there. And that blew my mind. Because, when you first get started, you all think do it really work? You got all kind of negative people in your ear. Like right before I got on the plane, my uncle, he came outside. He was laughing at me because I had to go to Washington, D.C. to the seminar. He came outside. Boy, he think he going to learn something about real estate? Boy, you don't know nothing about real estate. You wasting your time. And I'm in the car now, getting ready to go to the airport, to the seminar. And so, I had a little doubt because I'd never done a deal before. Then I thought about it. I'm like, man, this guy, 50 years old, staying with his mom. I'm going to show him. So when I went up there, God was so much in my favor. They called, my mentor called the people on the phone. We closed the subject to deal out right there. I went back to the hotel, faxed the contract. That's what we used to use, fax machines back in 2005. So I faxed the contract back. I had a signed contract before I even went home from the seminar. So I was just fired up.
Oh my God.
So I got home. It was kind of like a deal like yours. It was, I think the lady owed like $130 or $140 on the house. She got married, so they had 2 properties. She needed to get rid of one. So she sold me that property subject to the existing mortgage. I gave her $2,000. She deeded the property over to us. And I got $5,000 down, gave her 2, and I made $300. And I rented out every month for about $300. So that was my first deal. And then within 30 days, I put a house on the contract and I wholesaled the property and made $15,000. And I only invested $300. And it was over.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, man, this stuff really works. And so, it changed my life, man, forever.
Oh my God.
I thank my mom to this day for that.
I know that's right. Thank you too, your mom, because you're helping so many of us out here. I mean, so there's so much in what you just said. I mean, first of all, serving time, learning tough lessons, being young and silly out on the streets and things like that. There's no excuse for anybody out here. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do real estate. I'm blown away by that part. I knew about the forklift. I didn't know about the backstory behind that. But it's like you had to make a decision. And that's one of the keys to success. You have to be instant in your decision. You can't, toggle between things. You can't waver, right? You knew that if you didn't get to that seminar, you were going to be stuck with a dead-end job.
Oh my God.
As a forklift driver, raising 3 children. Not a good look. Not a good look.
So I just had to go. It was something in me. Now I'm more, I studied about intuition and the third eye and all that stuff. So I'm more intuitive. So now looking back, that was my intuition, like, go. Something inside of me will not let me rest. It was like, go to this seminar, go to this seminar, go to this seminar. And I followed that intuition.
That is
Boy, that was one of the best things ever happened to me.
Oh my God. Let's talk about your family, if that's okay. Because obviously, you know, you learned some things by being out, you know, when you were young. And what are you instilling in your kids now? Are you coaching them in real estate? Are you what does your family makeup look like right now? How are you training your children?
Well, I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and so I'm training my 2 boys. You know, they're listening. One of them actually working with me. My other son, he's working at a leasing office, so he's getting a little training by leasing, leasing offices, and he get paid like a certain percentage. So he's fine with that right now. And my other son, he works here with me every day. So he's getting it. He's blessed. He don't really realize it, but man, if I was him and my dad knew this kind of information, I'd suck up every piece of game I could.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want our listening audience to know that Eddie Raymond is a documented success story in real estate. If you go to his offices, you will see binders upon binders of closed deals. This is not just someone who is just talking the talk. He's walked the walk. I mean, he and his wife have an amazing system in place for coaching and learning and everything like that. And that's how I came across you, Eddie. You know, my husband and I, we've been looking into doing real estate for a long time. And it's that whole thing about, you know, you said, I want to do real estate. I want to get into real estate, having no idea what that really means, right?
Right.
So as of last year, 2019, you know, we were able to succeed with wholesaling, some wholesaling deals. And you always say this, you just one deal away, and your life is never going to be the same again. I mean, we were hooked. So I started investigating other strategies, and I came across your YouTube videos, and I'm like, okay, Lord, I need to get in touch with this person. And so, you know, we put the money aside, and I saved up for your coaching, your coaching. And because I started trying to do things and was just hitting my head up against the wall, and it was not going anywhere. And as soon as I called you, you spent time with me on that call, and it was even longer than the allotted period of time. And you gave me so many golden nuggets to help me with this strategy. And so I want to thank you publicly. I just want to thank you openly to say I appreciate that so much. That changed my life that day. So if we can continue on to talk about why it's so important that people really get involved with real estate. Why is it important, Eddie? And what kind of person and mindset do people need to really be successful? Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm glad you hit on that mindset. That is the number one thing. If you can get around your mindset, because you got to think, the majority of us been programmed wrong. Like they say, one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, we're not even living our own life. We're living the life our mom showed us, our dad showed us, our peers growing up. Because we was born in Alaska, we have a total different mindset. We'd be doing something totally different. So you was born in that environment that you was born in. You went to school around the people you went around. So you got programming from your outside environment coming up. So and a lot of that program has been negative programming. You hear your mom or your dad complain, I don't have enough money. Oh, it's hard time. All that stuff get embedded in your subconscious mind, and you start unconsciously doing all the stuff that they was doing, and you don't know why, because you've been programmed wrong from the jump. So we have to get in there just reprogram. We got to get in there, reprogram our mind. And the only way you do that is, through books and studying books and listening to Audible. I can't tell you. That's one blessing that I did learn when I went to prison. I didn't read a lot, but I developed a habit of reading. Now I just can't stop reading. This is a blessing. So, because I've been learning so much. I mean, there's so much to learn, but you got to definitely work on your mind, because a lot of people listen to all these negative people saying, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that. man, you can do whatever you want to and whatever you get determined to do.
Sure.
You can do it.
That is
no ifs, ands, or buts. God gave us unlimited power. And if we don't use our power, then it's our fault. Like Jesus said, it's finished. Everything, I done gave you everything. It's all inside of you. It's up to you to bring out your talent. It's up to you to develop your talents. Nobody else's job but us. The best person we can work on is ourselves. People always want to talk about this person and that person. Look in the mirror. You got some work too to do.
That's the truth. No, I totally agree with that. You know, because being in the real estate space, you're gonna hear the word no. I mean, over and over and over again. And then you have a moment where there's a yes and you can do a deal. Yep. You know, then there's delays, right? And yep. Then there's uncertainties, and it's like you have to be really willing to endure. Because I tell my kids, I tell them all the time what the Bible says: the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to the one that endured to the end, you know? Amen. And you have to stick with it. And it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. You know, there may be listeners out there who are in the real estate investment space. And we just want to encourage you to don't give up. Eddie, what do you tell us? Never quit. Never, don't you ever quit. Don't you quit. You keep going. You're one deal away. And even if you've done a deal, you just one deal away from doing the second deal. Yeah. Just don't stop. And so what are the kind of books that you're reading? Because I love to read too, and my listeners know that. I always ask my guests about the books that really, really made a difference. I mean, I know you read a lot, but what are some that you can name now?
One of my favorite books is by Dr. Joseph Murphy. It's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. So that's a good one. I'm reading now, what's this guy named? John Maxwell, The Habits of Successful People.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm reading that one now, so I'm in the middle of that one. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's like a real awesome book. I read Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill a couple of times. What's the other one I like? Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. I like Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, 10 Secrets Every Father Should Know about the daughters.
Awesome.
So I had to read that and learn about that because I have 2 girls. And I wanted them to the best and let them know how a man's supposed to treat them. Yeah. That's very important.
That's really important, yes.
I like this one too, The Greatest Salesman in the World. This is a good book.
Yeah. Awesome.
And Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This just teach you how to sell products, guys. You get you a product, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of money to be made with products. And this is another one I read, The Rules of Management. They help you just learn how to manage people and stuff like that.
Very good.
So you got to constantly, guys, just be putting that good information in your head instead of just riding around listening to music all day. Mm-hmm. Switch it up a little bit, especially if you're in traffic or something, you commute back and forth to work. Give an hour of time to a nice Audible. Like you don't have to, if you hate reading books, get the Audible. I got Audibles and books. If it's something really good, I buy the Audible and the book because I really want to get it. So repetition is the key to anything. You keep on hearing it and hearing it enough time, you'll start doing it.
Yeah. I hope everybody's writing those down. I mean, I you play the video back or whatever and get them because those are amazing. I have not read those yet. Now I'm going to add them to my list for sure. I had a question. Because when you mentioned about the reading, right? Now, a person can ask, how in the world do you have time, to read, do audibles and things like that? Let's talk about time management, Eddie, in business. Talk about time management, business, managing a family, your spiritual well-being, your health, everything. As you work out too, I see you do physical fitness videos, things like that. how do you get it all done? What is your daily ritual, or your, how do you manage it all?
Well, normally I wake up about 4 to 4:30. So I wake up, meditate, then I go, give me some breakfast and stuff, and go to the gym. So I'm usually back. I like to be home back about 7 o'clock so I can see my daughter off to school. That's the only one I got in school. She's 7. Then she go to school, then the day begin. Get to work, doing deals and working my phone. So I try to finish with everything about 5 or 6 o'clock. Sometimes, my work days are not booked up because I delegate a lot now. So at least about 4 or 5, I want to be done. So when my wife and everybody get back home, we have family time every day. Because that's so important. Because you can be out here chasing this money, but you miss out. Like my older kids, I missed out a little bit on their life. So I was so focused on growing my business that I didn't pull away enough, to have family time. So I learned that I gotta incorporate that. So I've been doing that for several years now. Since my kids are out of the house, we have, except one, well, 2. My son stay here 2 now. But every month, at least once a month, we have a family gathering. I have all my kids over and we eat, and we go with goals. And I see how I can help them get to their goals and try to help coach them along on their goals and stuff like that. We do every year. We do a vision board and we write down our goals. And then we try to we go over them every month to see, how we can help each other get closer to our goals.
Yeah, that is so good. We've in my household, we've started instituting family meetings, and I have to be honest to say we haven't done one in like maybe a few months, and it's a new habit that we have to develop within our household, and it's great, to do, like you're saying, the goals, and to recalibrate and see where we are, in our lives and how things are looking, and that encourages me just to keep that going. It's something different. It's something new. They're older, so they're 21, 18, and 17, and that's not something that we had going all along while they were coming up. So instituting a new habit and sticking with it, definitely, I can see now how important that is, and I really commend you and your wife on doing that. You mentioned a key point too about delegating. It's key, isn't it, Eddie, that we learn to delegate, because being a business owner, entrepreneur, what have you, the freedom doesn't really kick in unless we get out of the way of our businesses. Would you?
Yeah, because once we get out of the way, our business can really grow. Like my mentor used to always say, the less I do, the more I make. I didn't really understand it, but that's the truth. Because if you're working in your business and trying to do everything, you're going to be at a cap rate. It's only so much money you yourself going to be able to make. If you hire, a virtual assistant, and then you get a person to go out there and look at the properties, now you freed up more time where you could focus on working on your business. So what market am I hit? What kind of market are we going to do? You can focus on the stuff that really generate the money instead of the little $8, $9 an hour stuff that's holding you back from making $500,000 or making $250,000. Because you yourself, you can only do so much. And it took me a couple of years to learn that. I thought I could do everything. I could be Superman, but I was stuck at a certain bracket for years.
Right.
And I was blessed since I've been in the business. I came out the first year of 6 figures. So it's been the same, but I've been increasing. And once I got out of the way though, I started making way more money. But I noticed for the first 2 or 3 years, I was still hitting like the same tax bracket. And I'm like, dang man, I want to grow. So I had to finally start implementing people on to help me do more of this stuff. And now, we've been growing pretty good.
That's awesome.
So we're into commercial stuff and all kind of stuff now.
Okay, we'll be talking to you about that too. That commercial, that's a whole another level. Excited to talk to you about that. And I'm going to close this out soon here shortly, but I want to hit on one more key point regarding the real estate market. Okay, as we're talking here, you and I know we're not just talking about selling homes and buying homes. We're talking about investment strategies and creative terms and all sorts of things that are out there. Let's talk about the importance of having more than just one strategy under your belt as we are heading toward changes in the market. Can you elaborate on what that means to have more tools in your belt?
Well, one thing about it, I want to hit on this first. What made me start to coach, I found out, well, I got a passion for it and a love for it, and so it feels good to give back and see my students doing deals, man. I can't even describe it, man. It feels so awesome. Like that feeling is amazing. It's amazing. It feels good. But I read an article that our people, and it's so sad, we own the same amount of real estate from 1948 to 2020. We still own the same percentage of real estate, which I think is like 10% or something like that. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. We'll sit here and rent for 20, 30 years and make somebody else rich, and we don't invest nothing in ourselves. Nothing in ourselves. So when you die, if you've been renting a house 20, 30 years, you die, what you gonna leave your kids? Now they stuck with the same rental mindset. They don't have no jump start. So they gotta start over again. And I can't even describe it. So I just want our people to hold on to something, buy you something. Even if you buy one house and your mom and dad never bought a house in their life, you bought one house, you can break that generational curse. Teach your family what to do with that property. Because just think about it, you've been paying on the house 20, 30 years. You can't go refinance that house if you have any hard times or you see a business you want to open up. Just say you, like I tell people, real estate don't have to be your passion, but let it fund your passion. You make enough money where it can fund your passion. So let it fund your passion. Like, so you rent a house 20, 30 years and an opportunity come by where you could buy a business and you've been renting a property and you don't have no money, how you gonna move on the opportunity? But if you got a house you've been paying on 20, 30 years, usually a mortgage is about 15 to 30 years. Just say you had a 15-year mortgage. Now you see a business opportunity, your house free and clear, which means you don't owe a mortgage on it. Now you can go refinance this money, because when you refinance your house, it's tax free. Right. So you can refinance that and put it into the business and open up your business. Now you got to jump. Now you got to jump start instead of just renting forever. So that's crazy. But the thing about it, guys, you definitely want to be a transaction engineer. Because like I said, I got into the business. I was a wholesaling junkie. That's all I did. Wholesale. Because, hey, I was making big money with a little amount of investment. So, I mean, it was mind-boggling. So that's all I wanted, was fast checks. But when that market crashed, the fast checks stopped for 7 or 8 months. And I'm like this. But I'm looking at my friend. Now, I had 3 rental properties, but 3 years, let me see, 05, 6, 7. I got in 05, it crashed in the end of 07. So, 2 years, I could have easily bought way more subject to properties than that. But that wasn't even crossing my mind. I wanted that fast buck. And I had a friend, an older friend. This joker, he's like 10 years older than me, but he started investing in the 80s. So this guy had 50 subject to properties that he took over, and he's cash flowing about $20,000 a month. Oh. And so when the market crashed, he wasn't affected a bit. He's still riding around in his Lexus. Him and his wife still going out of town on trips and going out to eat every week. I'm looking like, oh my God, what in the world happened? Because you're not expecting. When I got in the business, nobody said anything about a market crash. I didn't know anything about that. So when it happened, I'm like, what in the world? How this just gonna happen like this?
You just got started.
Man, I couldn't believe that, man. When nobody doing nothing. I'm talking about everything was at a halt.
Man.
So that means my income's at a halt.
Yeah.
But thank God, that's one benefit for coming from the streets. I was a hustler, so what I did, I just transitioned over. It took me about 2 to 3 months to figure out another strategy. What I did then, I just made had some signs made. Landlord, do you need a tenant? I had a phone number, and so what I was doing, I was finding a tenant for landlord. I charged them the first month rent or the security deposit, and, you know, they get the other. So I charged them first month rent, just say $1,000, and I find a tenant for their house. Once I get the tenant in the house, you know, I get $1,000 or $1,200, so I had to keep it moving. So we was flipping about 8 to 10 of those a month. So we making like 8 to 10 grand a month. But at first, I had to figure it out.
I know. You got to eat, you know, you got to eat.
Man, and that's still a good business for somebody to start. I said I probably gonna put together a little cheap course on it. We was doing good after we finally, you know, figured it out.
Yeah.
I was like, man, wow. My mind was gone. I couldn't believe it. But one good thing, I was fortunate enough when that market crashed, I had just hit for 58,000. I just hit for 58,000 on a wholesale deal. And it was actually a probate deal, which is one of my favorites. But we actually hit for 58,000 right before the market crashed. So that held me over until I figured it out, which was a blessing. I learned when that market crashed to have cash flow. So ever since 2007, we've been focusing on cash flow a lot. We still wholesale properties, but guys, you can wholesale properties. You want to do some lease purchase on properties with the right to sublease, and you can do some wholesale lease options, which is wholesaling pretty houses instead of wholesaling ugly houses. You can wholesale pretty houses and the ugly houses, and take over properties subject to the existing mortgage, which means if a person don't want a house, just say they don't want a house for some reason. They're moving out of state, they don't want it, they're done with the house. Well, they could sign the title of that property over to you. The loan will stay in their name. They know that everything's fully disclosed. They have to sign off on everything. The mortgage stays in the seller name, and the title transfer over to your entity name or to your land trust name. And so, you know, we've been able to build a lot of cash flow that way, buying properties subject to the existing mortgage. And then you have owner financing deals where people own the property with no mortgage, and you can owner finance that property for them. Just say you give them $2,000 or $3,000 down, give them, say the house worth $100,000, you may pay them $500 a month, and then you say, okay, you gave them $200 down, the payment $500 a month. You get somebody with $5,000 down, and you can rent it to them for $1,000 a month. Now you got $500 cash flow every month. Yeah. And our owner finance deals also, we make them principal payments only. So we pay you principal payments only. That way we can pay the house off fast.
There you go. There you go. The monthly payments are driving the principal down.
Right.
Good. So in all of in the subject to and the owner finance, those are cash flow properties because you're putting renters in them, and that renters' money is coming to you.
Right.
So look at that. That's like taking control of properties and making money without necessarily owning the property.
Right, and without going to the bank.
Without even going to the bank.
You don't have to go to the bank and kiss no butt. Hey, you just need a motivated seller. And you got a deal.
Man, guys, I'm telling you, you can hear all of this wisdom. Listen to it, just exuding from his very essence.
You also got short sales also. I forgot about the short sale.
Yeah.
So short sale.
Yep.
Short sale is just if a person behind on they got to be behind for a short sale. They got to show some kind of financial hardship. So you got to be at least a payment behind to do a short sale. But if the property's need repairs, 10 or better, in this market is worth doing it. They need about 10 or better in repairs, and you go in and negotiate that. So for example, the homeowner owe $100,000, they're behind a payment or two, and just say it needs 10 or 20,000 in repairs, then you can go in and negotiate with that lender, with their mortgage company, and get them to take less. So you may be able to get it down to 70,000 or 60,000, something like that. But when that market crashed, once I got my bearings and figured stuff out, and I went back, got me a short sale coach, paid him like $8,000. Learned the short sale business, but we've done over 200 some short sales. Man, oh my God. My only regret then, I didn't keep enough of them because we was getting properties from 150 down to 40,000, 50,000. It was, oh my God.
Oh.
We'd turn around and short sell them. Once we got them that low, after we get the short sale, then we'd turn around and wholesale them.
Right.
We got it down to 40,000. We turn around and find another buyer and sell it for like 70 or 80. Man, we made so much money when that market was down.
Are you keeping your short sales now? Are you holding on to them now to cash flow?
No, we're not getting them too low. Some of them we're getting low enough, but now since the market is so high because they go off the comparables in the area, it's not that good unless you got an area where it's high and low comps. Then you'll be okay. Or you got a property that's in really bad shape. Yeah. But yeah,
that's more of a buyer's market kind of strategy, is what you mean. Like when the market goes down.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy to have in the back of the
Yeah, that's a great strategy to have in your toolbox. That short sale. When it turn to a buyer's market again, it's showtime.
I'm telling you, that's when fun really begins.
Yeah.
You know, we can still find good deals out here, but again, that's gonna come with that patience, big time, because it's not a whole lot of inventory out here. And the sellers have the say on the pricing. They have a lot of control over that. But we can still get deals done. It's just that diligence, right? And just going forward.
Yeah, we kept a couple of them. We kept quite a few that we didn't even have the short sale. They was letting properties go for in Atlanta 5,000, 10,000. Now these same properties are worth 140, 150. So I'm glad we bought a couple of them. I hate I didn't buy enough.
I know.
But hey, it's coming back. And when they come back this time, woo!
It's gonna be on.
It's on.
It's on. Listen, I'm telling you all, Eddie, how can people get in touch with you with your coaching program? You have to tell them.
Okay, guys, and make sure you let me know Miss Reeves sent you guys. You can go to mrtransactionengineer.com and you can email us at info@mrtransactionengineer.com, and we're on YouTube, Mr. Transaction Engineer. Instagram is the same. So it's the same across the board.
All right, Mr.
We're looking to help you guys out, but you got to be serious. I don't like to waste my time because I got a lot of stuff going on. So if you're serious and you really want to make a life change, then email us and we can get the ball rolling. Only if you're serious. If you're not serious, please don't waste your time or your money. Please.
He's speaking the truth. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. You better come really ready to work. There's no get-rich-quick schemes out here. If real estate is your passion, if you want to fund your passion, real estate is the way to go. I am so glad that you were on my show. Thank you so much, Eddie. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe and share this channel, The Rise of Black Wealth. All right, guys, make 2020 a great year.
Let's make it happen.